Welcome back to On the Rise, the latest Canamenti news, and today we have another done deal, as Canadian Wonderkid Ismael Kone from CF Montreal has completed his transfer and is heading to the English Championship to play for Watford. And this is the perfect transfer for Ismael Kone, joining a side like Watford that is owned by the Pozzo family, who also owns Udinese as well, and this is a brilliant project he is joining, as the Pozzo family is absolutely brilliant as identifying young and fantastic talent from lesser known countries and leagues, and they've done it again with Ismael Kone for a brilliant stepping stone club for this young man and Canadian gem, the 20-year-old Canadian midfielder Ismael Kone joining Watford, and it looks like it is going to be a club record-breaking fee for CF Montreal. It is being reported that it's going to be around $8 to $10 million, which does break their fee they did receive for Georgi Mihailovic, who is joining AZ Alkmaar as well for $6 million. But the 20-year-old Canadian midfielder Ismael Kone, who had a breakout year in 2022 and his first ever professional year in football, is joining the Pozzo family in a brilliant project at Watford as well as Udinese, who they do own as well. This is a perfect deal. It has also been rumored that he's going to be with Watford for 6 months and maybe making the switch to Udinese in the summer, who is in the Serie A and is currently challenging for European football as well, but I'm sure that could change if Watford makes the Premier League. But this is such exciting news, because if you don't know what the Pozzo family has done with Watford, it is absolutely brilliant. This Pozzo family is one of the best at identifying young and brilliant talent across the world of football. Whether it's at Udinese or Watford, they've been unbelievable at identifying young and exciting talent from lesser known leagues and countries, such as Ismael Kone, but they've done it with players like Richarlison, who went to Watford and then later went on to Everton, and now we know what's happened with him. Rodrigo de Paul has come from Udinese. He is now at Atletico Madrid and is known as Argentina's bodyguard for Messi. Bruno Fernandes came from Udinese in his early days and eventually went to Sporting and is now Manchester United's talisman. And you also have Nahul Molina, who is there, and this is just an exciting system and project that the Pozzo family has done with Watford and Udinese at identifying talent, being able to move them around and flip them for a better bargain fee and move them on to bigger and better clubs. You also have other players like Gerard Deulofeu, Roberto Pereira, Steven Berghuis, and even a player like Estupiñán, who is killing it for Ecuador and now for Brighton. This is a perfect move for Ismael Kone. It is an amazing stepping stone, and probably he has picked the best option to sign for. It has even been tweeted by Fabrizio Romano. Canadian gem Ismael Kone is set to join Watford, and he is giving it the here we go. This deal is done, guys. As we know today, Watford's broken on all their socials that Ismael Kone has joined the club. This was tweeted a couple of days ago from Fab, but it will be a record transfer fee for Montreal, and he joins the Pozzo's project, includes Watford and Udinese for near future. It's the most attractive one for Kone despite offers from Italian, German, and Dutch clubs, which is very interesting to me. I'd love to find out eventually what clubs from Italy, Germany, and Dutch were interested in Ismael Kone, but I'm sure that probably won't be leaked for some time, but if it does, it'd be very interesting to see as well, because if it was an Ajax or something like that, maybe he could have had a better option. But I think this English league and joining Watford, he's going to get a lot of first-time minutes. I'm going to dive into that in just a sec. But this is the perfect side for Ismael Kone to join. Fabrizio also goes on to say Kone will sign a long-term contract, and the medical has already been approved. This was a day or so ago, guys, so that's why Fab said that. It's also been reported from Manuel Veth, who says Canamenti star Ismael Kone is set to join Watford. First reported from Fabrizio Romano, and he will join the Pozzo family, who also own Udinese and Granada as well. But guys, Ismael Kone has been in his first professional season as a footballer. At the age of 20, he has not played his debut since this season with CF Montreal. He has been absolutely brilliant, whether that was in the CONCACAF Champions League in the early days for CF Montreal or just starting off in the MLS. He was brilliant this year. He was absolutely fantastic in the regular season, having 26 matches and having 2 goals and 5 assists for a central midfielder, an absolute dynamic box-to-box midfielder as well. And of course, having 3 appearances at the World Cup, coming off the bench in all 3 of those, and was very good when called up for Canada in World Cup qualifying as well. Looks very composed, calm on the ball, and is such an exciting young gem of a player. But as you can see, his stock has risen tremendously throughout the past year, going from really a no talent to now one of the best Canadian talents and one of the best players in the market for younger talents out there. He has now risen to $6 million, and Montreal are going to be making around $8 to $10 million off him, breaking the club's record fee. But if you're asking me if Ismael Kone is going to start going straight to Watford, for me, it is a yes. You just have to look at Watford's talent in the midfield right now. it is very interesting. You have a 23-year-old Moroccan Inmer Lauza, who I think is a brilliant player. You have Hamza Chowdhury, who's had his ups and downs. He is at 25 years of age. And you also have Tom Cleverley, who is still there. Of course, the skipper, the captain, who is sitting at 33 years of age. And of course, Dan Gosling, who is at 32. For me, he starts. I think he starts straight away. They do play the 4-3-3 system. And I think he could easily start over Dan Gosling. You just got to look at the forwards ahead of him that he'd be feeding the ball to and playing with, like Ken Sema, Joao Pedro. You also have Ismail Assar. It is such an exciting Watford side that they do have, as well as Samuel Kalu. And this is a brilliant and exciting team he is joining. But it is also rumored that he's going to have 6 months of Watford and then move on to Udinese. But let's currently look at where Watford sit in the championship. As Watford sit in 4th place on 21 matches played, 9 wins, 6 draws, and 6 losses on 33 points. 2 wins would put them in second in automatic promotion. They are definitely in the race to go up to the Premier League. That second place is up for fights, as well as the first place, but Burnley are looking like they may run away with it, as they are a brilliant side under Vincent Kompany. Will Watford get promoted? For me, I do think they will. I think they have enough quality. I think they're best of the rest outside of Sheffield and Burnley. I think they definitely will pull it off. But they need that automatic promotion because in the playoffs, anybody's game. And I would love to see Ismael Kone balling out in the Premier League. But would he make that switch to Udinese? For me, it'd be very interesting to see if he does. Because Udinese right now sit 8th in the Serie A on 24 points, a win outside of Europa Conference football, which Atalanta currently sit in. But 2 wins does put them in Champions League, Europa League contention. It is a very tight race at the top of that Serie A table. It would be very interesting to see if he'd go there. Udinese have a lot of quality in their side, and he would be a brilliant fit for the club, I do believe. But the real question is this the perfect transfer for Ismael Kone? And for me, I think this is an amazing transfer for Ismael Kone. I think he picked the perfect side. Later, eventually, we might find out what clubs also had offers for him. But for me, Ismael Kone landing at Watford is the perfect transfer. It's an amazing fee. He is such a bright talent. And I think Watford's going to get a brilliant player who is more than likely going to be starting for them. And I think they're going to be seeing a very nice talent come out of Ismael Kone, and eventually they'll probably see him flip onto a bigger and better club. Who knows how soon it will be, but Ismael Kone is definitely one to watch for all Canadians and should be adopting Watford as a team they should be watching from now on in, especially once this World Cup's over. For Watford in the championship, guys, Ismael Kone has completed his move to Watford from CF Montreal, breaking the club record fee for around $8 to $10 million. Amazing move for all parties involved. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Hit that sub button, drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.